Let's begin! The Copper Canyon Shootout is an arcade shooter set in the Wild West. The game is played with two move controllers. To move around you teleport. You aim to where you want to move to, and then twist the move controller in the direction you want to be facing. An arrow shows you what way you will be facing after you let go of the teleport button. It is pretty fiddly, so don't expect to be zooming around each stage and dodging bullets. To be honest though, you're not really meant to be moving around all the time when the action starts. Each stage is split up into sections. First you walk for a little bit until you find a marker. Once you find this marker, you stand on it and a series of enemy waves begins. You can still move around after the robots start spawning, but because of the awkward movement, it's best to stand still in one position. Once you have beat all the enemies, you move up the linear environment, shoot a checkpoint, and then enter the next series of waves. These walking sections are a bit jarring on the ears though, as when you aim to move, everything goes in slow motion. The visuals are great, but a slow motion effect is applied to the sound effects and music of the game. It took me a while to realise that it wasn't my headphones messing up. Sure, slowing down the sound in a game can make it more immersive for slow motion parts, but it really shouldn't be tied to the actual movement mechanic in a game. The shooting sections are still a bit of fun though, even though you are simply standing still. What makes these entertaining is the destructible enemies. You can shoot off their arms, head, and can even blow them up by hitting their weak belly. They react appropriately to what part of them has been destroyed too, so if you shoot their head off, they obviously can't see, and will comically spin around in circles in the hopes that one of their bullet hits you. Or if you shoot off both their arms, they will start charging towards you with their belly glowing. If you don't take them out quick enough, their explosion will damage you. When they explode, parts fly everywhere, and it can look quite chaotic at times. Shooting off body parts rewards you with nuts and bolts. It really is ripped straight from the Ratchet & Clank games, but it looks great nonetheless, especially as so many fly towards you at once. It just makes dismemberment visually that much more rewarding, and it does also increase your overall score. There isn't that many enemies in the game at all. You get the normal ones, who are the ones that I previously described. Another robot appears on platforms who snipes you from above, and the last one will instantly charge towards you with their glowing belly. The lack of variety in enemies does make each series of waves outstay their welcome towards the end of a round. More enemies are thrown your way, but the spawning locations don't really change. The only thing that really tested my environmental awareness was the health pickups. Some are already in a location, and some are dropped from defeated robots. You will absolutely need to pick these up from time to time, as some bullets will most likely hit you. You can shoot incoming bullets out of the air, but later on in the game, it's quite hard to hit every single one. This difficulty is welcomed in most stages of the game though, as the health pickups force you to keep an eye on another thing in the game. Your actual health is displayed on your hand, so it's easy to see when you're nearing death. Like the enemy variety, there isn't many weapons in the game either. You have two pistols that are found on your belt, and you can pick up a shotgun type, which is found on crates throughout each stage. The shotgun type is great for a quick kill when enemies charge towards you, but I found myself using the pistols more often than not, as they're more precise when trying to hit the many enemies that are far away from you. To pick up a gun, you can either actually grab it, or simply point at it, and it will travel towards you. This combined with your belt around your waist being placed a little bit in front of you makes playing seated a possible option, and of course you can also stand to play. To reload a gun, you simply aim the move controllers down. It's a simple action and ensures you're always nearly shooting. There is only 3 stages in the game to beat. One is set in a town, another is in some canyons, and the last is in some mines. The mine level really ramps up the difficulty by throwing more enemies your way at once. It does feel like a cheap difficulty spike, considering when enemies spawn, they start shooting at you more or less straight away. It can make for some unfair feeling deaths, but at least this stage does challenge your reflexes a lot more. Each stage has 3 stars for you to achieve. You will need a good score, and not to die too many times to achieve them. At the end of each stage, you face a boss, but it's actually the same boss each time. He does have a new attack the second time you meet him, but that's basically the only thing that changes. It's a decent boss battle, but the fact that he's the same each time, only with more moves, makes it seem like he has been stretched out in the game. It took me just over an hour to beat the game, but I do still have some trophies left to get to achieve the platinum. There is a great variety in the actual objectives that the trophy list offers, but most of them you will easily achieve after your first playthrough, so I'm not going to go too much in depth about them. The only ones that may be a little bit difficult to get is for beating the mine level in under a certain amount of time, and also for getting a 3-star rating on it, but overall, it's a very doable platinum. This is a pretty decent arcade shooter. There is a couple of strange design decisions here and there, most notably the slowed down audio when you teleport and the actual movement is pretty fiddly, but overall it's a pretty fun little outing. The destruction tied to the robots is really cool, especially as they react to their damaged parts. I just wish there was more enemy types that explored this mechanic more. To be honest though, if the amazing destruction wasn't here, it would have been a pretty lacking experience. The game really does benefit from it a lot. It certainly feels like a bite-sized game, considering how little gameplay elements there are here, but the price does also reflect that. Overall, this isn't going to blow you away, but it's still quite a fun shooter. It's chaotic, requires quick aiming, and there is a platinum up for grabs. It offers an enjoyable hour or so of basic VR gaming. I actually really hope we see a sequel to this game in the future. It has the fundamentals of a brilliant arcade shooter, and I'd love to see these gameplay elements explored more in a not so stretched out manner. As always, if you found this review helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more PSVR content.